Today at 5 o'clock, we ran over to the big box at the Alabama Shopping Center. Picked up this full 45-foot container full of dunnage and returns, and now we're bringing it down here to the off-site warehouse in the Salt Lake area. This is a turn you got to be ready for, because you need 2 lanes in order to make it when there's a car at the intersection. The 45-footers. So yeah, this offsite warehouse used to be the original Costco on the island. And Costco moved out because the parking lot wasn't big enough. Then this big box moved in, put a second level onto the parking lot, and now it's one of the larger big boxes on the island. Well, we're going to an off-site warehouse, which is actually located in the same building. Wait our turn. There's only dock 5 belongs to the warehouse. So they're going to offload all this dunnage. And then they're going to reload it with dunnage for the mainland. And then we'll take that into the shipping terminal center. Alongside this truck. I think this truck is just parked. I don't think it's waiting. But yeah, first movement of the day. Now the standby begins. There we go. All set. 8:20. 8:20. And we got here at 6:35. And we waited probably at least half an hour before we actually got on the dock. So this will go to the shipping terminal for ingating. us to go back to our office. Along with this. So yeah, now second movement of the day, taking the reloaded 45-foot container from the off-site warehouse back to the shipping terminal in San Allen, which is about 7 miles away. This is a very... I came by here once and there was a trailer overturned right here in this driveway. So it's got to be a little tricky, I guess, when you're turning and coming through this driveway. If you got a lot of weight, yeah. I can see how that might happen if you did it too quickly. Anyway, making our way back to the shipping terminal, second movement. 12:05, we're working on our fifth movement of the day. After we took that big box container back to the shipping terminal, we bobtailed back to our terminal and we picked up a load of bicycles. And we took it out to a bicycle store in the Campbell industrial area. And we were going to stand by and offload, but then we realized that the shipping terminal San Allen closes at 11:15 for its modified schedule today. It won't reopen till 1. So instead of waiting, we dropped that. When we went next door, we picked up an empty from a moving company and took that back to the shipping terminal. And then dispatch had a full 20-foot container here. This is more than likely this is the toiletries for the hotels. We store that in our warehouse. And I came over here and got the last 20-foot chassis. Pre-tripped it, everything looked good, and then we drove over here to the container. And it felt like one of the brakes was grabbing. So I got out again and pre-tripped it to see if I could figure out which one it was. And right away I knew, because there was one set of, on the right passenger side, where it had been ground down to like the steel belt. So we then went back to the mechanic shop and stood by while they changed those 2 tires. And they said, oh, why we got it up in the air? Might as well change these other 2 tires. So they put 4 new tires on the passenger side of the trailer back there. So now we're standing by again to get the 20-foot container loaded. And it's lunchtime for the shipping terminal, so This terminal has a reduced staff. You know, instead of having 4 loaders in the yard, they only have 1. So if you come this time of day, it's the service is a little bit slow. So it was a good time to get the flat tires, I think. But yeah, standing by, waiting for a loader. got the day off, but it looks like all the federal workers took the day off too, because I don't see much going on at the federal job sites. The shipping terminal reopened. It wasn't soap, it was sugar. Sugar from South America. So after we dropped off the sugar, we bobtailed over to the telephone company and picked up this empty 40-foot container. Waited in line to get back into the shipping terminal when it reopened at 1 o'clock. And now we're back in line again to get our empty container stripped off here. You can see there's a bit of a queue. Like I always say, this is what we do. Wait in lines, wait in lines, wait in lines. We definitely wait in line just as much as we drive. I think that makes this sixth movement of the day, and then after this we're going to head back to the shipping terminal next door and pick up another full 20-foot container full of sugar. And like the soap, that gets put into the warehouse, but they do that on the weekends. Meantime, we'll just have to hang loose. But it's times like this when I get caught up on all the paperwork, which is also a big part of the job. That's it. We're shutting it down. We got 2:35. Turn off the fan there. We can shut them down. Pretty good day for a semi-holiday. The traffic, no traffic at all today. Good Friday. I was just thinking, hey, we talked politics yesterday, we should talk religion today. The two topics you shouldn't talk about in, what do they call it? In strange company, when you don't know who you're talking to, because politics and religion will always divide people into their own niches. My family was not very religious. My mom was a bit of a hippie. She believed in karma. Well, we were baptized Anglican, even though we never went to church. Not even for the, you know, the special. The only time we ever found ourselves in a church was growing up with my mom. I'm trying to think if we'd ever been to a wedding, but I don't think so. I think it was only for a funeral for my godfather. That's the only time I ever remember being in a church. So yeah, I tell people I'm not very religious, even though my wife always says, "Oh, why were you a deacon in a Christian Reformed church for 10 years?" You know, we go through our phases. But yeah, Easter was my mom was a very good cook, and for like Thanksgiving, which is her favorite holiday, and Christmas, she would always cook a feast and invite the whole town. And so it wasn't uncommon for, on a Thanksgiving day, to have 40, 60 people at the house over the course of the day. She would start off with breakfast and go all the way to midnight. But the one big holiday we would eat out was Easter. So that's probably what we're going to do this Sunday. In the past, we've gone to, you know, all-you-can-eat buffets. The military really does a great job. Most of the military restaurants are open to the public. You can get a pass to get on base, and sometimes that pass is good for a year if you're, you know, a basic resident here in Hawaii. At least that's how it works at the Army bases. I think it works the same way at the Marine Corps base too, and maybe Pearl Harbor for all I know. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure it's that way at the Hickam too. But you do have to go through a procedure, kind of like what we do when we drive the trucks on base. We got to go into the Pass and ID office and present our information. They do a quick background check, and then they print out your day pass, or in this case, if you were going to like a restaurant. The restaurants on bases are usually very good, and they usually do big spreads for Easter. And so traditionally in the past, it's kind of where I find myself. It is a little on the pricey side. It usually runs just under $50, somewhere between $40 and $50 a person. But it's like, you know, omelet station, prime rib, shrimp, and just the works. But anyway, what did we do today? We came in at 5. We'll be out of here by 2:40. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movements, and we drove not quite 100, 92 miles. We're headed home. I got shrimp on the mind for dinner tonight. We got some leftover pasta, and so I'm gonna make a little pasta dish with some shrimp. Throw in some tomatoes and spinach and onions and mushrooms. You know what's going on here. Everybody's shutting down now. Hopefully everybody has a great Easter. We'll be back here on Monday. Thanks for watching today. Aloha.